We're going to start by making a frame, just like we did our paintings that you guys did with us last year, the birch tree paintings. You cover about half of your tape goes on the paper, and the other half of your tape we're going to leave on the board. And if you're using newspaper, you're probably just going to want to wrap your tape around, so it's fine if you get it on the newspaper, but it's easier to take off on something a little bit slicker surface. And if you have a countertop and your mom doesn't mind you doing chalk on it, it does wash off. So you could even do it on a countertop as long as your parents are okay with that. And we're just going to make ourselves a little frame. That way when we're finished, we have a nice smooth frame on our picture. I like to use painter's tape because it comes off easy without ripping up the paper. And now we're going to open up our chalks. And this goes right along with the blends that we've been doing. As you know, we always like to do our middle with a little yellow. This time I'm going to do a little bit of yellow on both ends. And you can kind of be a little bit creative with this. You don't necessarily have to do it exactly the same. It's always best to see what you come up with. But you do want to go light to dark, just like we normally do. Or dark to light, whichever end you're starting on. It's always best to start with the light end. Use some orange. And you want to press down on it just a little bit. Not so hard that you break it or anything, but and it's with this it'll be okay if you leave some white in there. You don't have to get every single inch. And we go from orange to red. And we don't have any purple on this, so I'm going to use some blue up at the top. But if you have a purple chalk, purple looks good up toward the top. Especially if you're doing a night sky, which we'll probably do another one in a few days showing a night sky. And just like I said when we were talking in the beginning, this is not something that you have to do. If you choose to do this and you have the materials to do it, then this will be what you get a grade for. But if you don't have these materials and you choose to do something else, that's perfectly fine. And then we'll come back and do this again later. You might even choose to do this at a later date just for fun, just because you have the materials and you want to. Okay, we're going to start on the light end. We don't want to start on the dark end, because if we do, then we won't have any light left when we get back down here. And you just take your finger and you start blending it. Rubbing it in. Now you see why it didn't matter that we had little white spots in there. And then right where the colors meet, you want to mix them up. And I just go in little circular motions and try to keep the colors mixed a little bit. I don't want to move all the way up on the red and then come back down here, because then the red's going to end up getting in my yellow and my orange, and we don't want that. We only want to blend them where the lines meet. And then I'm doing my little circles right here where the two colors meet. And then I just keep going up, not coming back down to the orange. Come back down to the orange too much. I'm going to lose all my orange, and then all I'll have is red. Now, one thing I don't want you to do, because your mom will get me if you do. Now that you've got all this chalk powder on here, you don't want to just blow this, because it's going to go all over your countertop or your table or wherever you're doing your work. So what I like to do is take a brush, preferably a good fuzzy paintbrush. And I really could use a bigger one than this, but I didn't bring a bigger one in here, so. And I'm just going to brush all this away. Not real hard, just lightly. All this extra powder that I've got here. Just kind of to get it off of my picture a little bit. Use a clean finger. Rub that in a little bit more. There we go. So that's the first part. Now you take your black and we are going to make some little mountain ranges. And just make you some zigzaggy motions. It doesn't have to be anything special. And once you get your edges on there, you're going to fill this in with black. Now when you're finished, you do want to take this outside and blow it, but not until you're done. And you don't want to blow it in the house, because if you do, Mama's going to get you and me both, because it will make a mess. And just like before, you don't have to get it completely closed in. It's okay if you've got some yellow showing there, because we're going to blend that out with our fingers. The only place you need to try to get it colored in, and always kind of keep your hand up. Don't lay your hand down like this, because if you do, your whole arm is going to be black and colored with the chalk. And it'll mess up your picture. It'll smear it up really bad. So we just want to work that into those crevices as best as we can. We're going to blend it out, so a lot of these little points aren't going to show too much. Anyway, so take another finger, and this one you want to kind of sweep it down a little bit. It's okay if you go around in this area, but up near your jagged edges, you don't want a lot of smear. You just want to pull it down. See that? And these will just look like our mountain view off in the horizon. At sunset, it'll be nice and dark. Just keep, and if you want it darker, just add some more. And then just keep working it through there. The less you rub, the darker it'll stay. The more you rub, the lighter it'll get. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to rub one side real good and kind of hard, just really to get me a smooth pointed edge on my chalk. And here's how you make you some trees. Again, don't lay your hand on it or you'll smear it right up into your colors. If we want some trees, we're going to make a couple of lines. The thinner the better, so I don't have a very skinny edge there, so you kind of want to use your points. There we go. Now, make that one longer. The top edges of your tree, that's what these are going to be. They're going to be trees. You just kind of make some little lines there. And then you come back and you just go across them. You want to use as thin a line as you can, little zigzaggy lines. As you know, you can go wider at the bottom, darker at the top. And remember, keep using the point for the edge of your chalk where it's the sharpest. And then you can come back if you want to blend that out. Do it just a little bit down the center and out toward the sides a little. You don't want to blend it up till it looks like a big blob. That way you still see your lines, but makes it look darker and not so see-through. We're going to come over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start at the top and put just a few little lines at the top, maybe a point or two. A little bit of trouble getting a good sharp edge there. Corners do good as well. It's just a little bit, just kind of just pull it out just a little, very lightly, just barely touching it. It's like you're pulling your tree out wider. And you can always go back over your trees just a little bit with a, they make these in a pencil as well, and they work really good too. I don't have any of those at home, but for your sharper points like these trees, the pencils work really good. Chalk pencils. Basically all it is, it's just a little stick that your chalk fits into, a little plastic stick, like a holder. Just pull it down the middle and just kind of pull it out just a little. See how it does make it look a little bit wider, but also you can kind of still see the lines of the tree inside of it. This one here, we want it to be a little taller than the other since it's on the corners. Pull it down the middle, right along the middle line of the tree. And if you smear it out a little too much and you still can't see the lines inside your tree, or you feel like your tree needs to be a little bit fatter, you just go back and add a little bit more lines in there. It's all how you want it to look. Your creation. There's no right and wrong way. Maybe we should put another small tree down here, you think? You can add them or take them away, however you want. We got our trees done. See, look at that. That's why we don't want to rub too much down here, because we end up with it on our arms and clothes. We just want to be real careful. Now you can take a white when you're finished and hold your arm up so you don't lay it on there and mess up your trees. And just make you some little dots all around the top, so you can see the stars. You can see a little bit of the sun in the sky, but you can still see the stars too. Or maybe this is just lights on the horizon. It's all about what you want it to be. It's your creation. And like I said, there's no right and wrong way. Once you get you a few really defined dots on there, you can go through and just add a few. Just be real careful that you don't break your chalk. Now what we do want to do, what I want to do, you don't have to do this. I'm going to make one really kind of strong dot, and I want to use a finger that's not dirty yet. I'm just going to pull that out just a little. Do it again over top of it and make it real dark. Just a light little streaks coming off of that. And I might even take a little bit of yellow and just add a few in my dot. Make a little bit of yellow streak as well. I'm going to take that clean finger again, just drag it that way. Don't rub it back and forth, just one clean swipe. And then add back a little bit of lines in there, kind of like we did our tree. Now it almost looks like a shooting star. See? The next thing we'll do is pretty much done. Is you want to take this outside and shake it out real good and blow it off in a spot where it's okay for the chalk to go, because you don't want to get it all over Mom's clean house. You can add in a little bit more definition if you want first. There you go. So, I'm going to shake mine off in the sink. I wouldn't recommend that for you though. I would take it outside. The only reason I'm doing this is because we're on video and I don't want you to have to wait a long, long time. And I'm the one that cleans the sink, so I can get away with it. And there we go. It's as simple as that, guys. Won't take you a real long time. And you can pull your tape off when you're done. You've got these nice clean edges. Just be real careful that you don't rip your paper when you pull it off. And usually that doesn't happen unless you've got some heavy paint on here anyway. And if you want to keep this and not worry about it smearing, anybody that's been in my class before knows that sometimes we want to keep our work. And if you want to keep it, all you need to do is take some, you can use an aerosol hairspray, though I probably wouldn't on the chalk, but you can if you don't have anything else. You can also get some clear sealant. It's back where the spray paint is in most stores. You can spray it with some hairspray or some clear sealant and it'll seal this, let it dry, and you keep it forever. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoy it. See you after a while.